The Biden administration is canceling $5.8 billion in student loans for those who attended Corinthian colleges. Vice President Kamala Harris announced the loan forgiveness yesterday. It was determined that Corinthian colleges had defrauded their students by misrepresenting job placement rates and engaging in false advertising. This loan discharge is the largest of its kind in the Department of Education's history. And joining us now to discuss is Angela Morabito, spokesperson for the Defense of Freedom Institute for Policy Studies and former press secretary for the U.S. Department of Education under then Education Secretary Betsy DeVos. Angela, good to see you again. Thanks for coming on. Let's talk more about this massive loan forgiveness. How significant is it, and what type of impact will it have?
This is absolutely huge, and it really shows the Biden administration's willingness to take some liberties with who should get loan forgiveness. Obviously, it was our position when I served in the Department of Ed under Secretary DeVos that if your school really defrauded you, you absolutely deserve relief. You deserve help. What the Biden administration just did isn't that. They went all the way back to 1995 and issued blanket loan forgiveness for everybody who went into those schools, whether they applied or not. So it's really kind of questionable what they're doing here, and it sends an odd message, certainly to the public and to student loan borrowers, but also to people who went to those colleges and maybe were able to get jobs and already paid off their loans. They don't get that kind of relief. Instead, it's blanket forgiveness for a specific group of people, and it certainly bodes for interesting things to come in terms of what they may do with the student loan program.
Yeah, and I understand that Vice President Kamala Harris, she actually sued Corinthian colleges while she was California's Attorney General, that is. What more can you tell us about that?
Well, it tells you that this issue started long before the Biden administration actually began, that Kamala Harris believed that there was fraud going on at Corinthian colleges, and she investigated, took a look into it. But that investigation, I believe, happened in 2013. So it's interesting to me that they went back, years and years, back to 1995 and selected that as the start date and said everybody from here on out gets blanket loan forgiveness.
And Angela, where do you think this is all going? I mean, do you think the administration will, expand this possibly to cancel all student loan debt? I mean, that's something that a number of progressive Democrats really have been pushing for.
It could happen, and this move with Corinthian colleges certainly looks like they're testing the waters for more widespread loan forgiveness going forward. And President Biden campaigned on forgiving $10,000 in student loan debt per borrower. And he talks about this in terms of equity, in terms of fairness, but there's nothing fair about forcing people to pay off loans they never took out. There's nothing equitable about taxing farmers and truckers to pay off the loans of doctors and lawyers. And this is borne out by data. When you look at who would benefit from this, loan nationalization is really what it is. Only 16% of those people are in the bottom income bracket. So this would not be benefiting the people that the Biden administration claims to be wanting to help.
Angela, not a whole lot of time left, but I'm curious, is there a better way to deal with this? I mean, could the universities themselves maybe do something, cancel the debt, or offer some type of assistance?
They can and they should. Now, the issue here is the Corinthian colleges are defunct. They're closed. But I absolutely believe in accountability for colleges, that if a college, like any other business, if they lie to their customers, they ought to be held accountable. They ought to be the ones having to make it right, rather than the federal taxpayer who had nothing to do with this.
Well, Angela, thank you so much for your time. So much more we could talk about, but unfortunately, we have to wrap it up. Thank you again.
Thank you.